What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's the King Koopa. Hope you guys are having a great day. So we're going to be installing some Dynamat on the inside of the cab. We used over 100 square feet, which is a lot more than I thought it would take. But if you see my previous videos, we put a full sound system in. In the video before that, we did a full engine build, built the tranny, long tube headers, a whole bunch of stuff. So now that the engine is built with the custom exhaust, you can't even hear yourself think unless you're going above 50 miles an hour. So to combat that sound and the exhaust noise and hopefully help our sound system out, we're going to be installing this Dynamat. If you guys have never heard of this, the Dynamat is pretty professional grade. There's one or two other companies that are right there with Dynamat, but there is a lot of other cheaper options. I did my research and read a lot of reviews, and that's why I stuck with Dynamat, because a lot of people who bought the cheaper options weren't very happy. But let me just say that this is some great stuff. We haven't got the truck out on the road yet. We have idled it in the garage because there are no seats in it currently right now, because we are doing a leather bucket seat with a center console swap. So that'll be probably my next video. But just idling in the garage with the door closed with no interior at all. You can actually hear yourself think, you can have a conversation with someone, and it's not stupidly loud inside the cab. So I haven't even driven the truck yet, and I'm already super happy with this product. We did spend about just shy of $500 just on sound deadener alone, so it is a very expensive product. If you have a really loud exhaust or a nice sound system and you are wanting some better quality sound, I would definitely recommend this product. If you are interested in it, I will link it in the description below. And if you do install this product, you're definitely going to need some Dynamat rollers, which I'll also link in the description below. These are a must. You cannot install this product without it because you need maximum contact between the Dynamat and the metal, and these rollers help utilize that. The more Dynamat you have touching the metal is going to decrease the vibrations, which in turn is going to decrease the decibels inside the cab. Dynamat does specify for a car the orders of importance are the doors, and then the floor, and then the trunks, and then the roof. But for a truck, my personal opinion, I think is honestly the first is the back wall, because that's just a thin piece of sheet metal, and that's where a lot of the sound comes from, and then the doors, floor, and then the roof. So we did use over 100 square foot of it. I honestly could have used a lot more because we did a full B-pillar. We put 3 sheets inside each door on the outside shell, and then we did an entire sheet on the outside, basically turning the door into a speaker box. I did run out of the Dynamat Extreme, and I did have a local shop, which is why I bought the Dynamat Superlite. That is 30% lighter, so if you're running in like a race car application, it is a lot less heavier, but it's not as effective as the Dynamat Extreme. But this is Dynamat's level 1. They have 3 levels. Level 2 is a Dynaliner, and a level 3 is a DynaPad. So you could get this truck extremely quiet if you really wanted to, but it is going to cost a lot of money. So enough of me talking. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get to work, but first we got to clean the shop up real quick and clean the truck out. So we're going to give it one of these, and we're going to give one of those to the truck also. Before we start laying this Dynamat down, you are going to want to clean the whole entire surface, get all the dust, dirt off, wipe it down with some isotone or denatured alcohol, get it a nice clean surface so it can stick to. The more Dynamat you have stuck to the surface, the better sound deadening quality it's going to be. But first, before we do all that, I do have a couple rust spots. Some small surface rust right there, a little right there, and you might be able to see some back right here. I think that's from where water used to puddle. I do have the rubberized carpet. So at some point in time, there was a lot of water that got into here and soaked up underneath. Most likely started from here and worked its way that way and worked its way this way. So we're going to pull these little plastic harness trays out, clean a little bit up here, clean there, and then we're going to top it off with some spray paint before we lay the Dynamat down, and then we're going to get all the whole cab cleaned out. So first, let's take care of those few rust spots. Alright, so we got this side all cleaned up, nice and shiny, got that rust taken care of. So the other side actually really wasn't bad for all the rust. I think all the rust was primarily on the driver's side, but this side actually really wasn't bad at all. I mean, there was just a tiny bit of surface rust there and a tiny bit of surface rust there. All the rest of this was actually the body sealer from the factory. So it was a lot of this material, this really hard sealer that they used to seal the body lines right here. And right here, that big, nice bead. They actually had gobs of it, just like someone got it on their hands and just tried to wipe it off on the cab. It was everywhere, big chunks of it. So we got all that sanded down, vacuumed it out. And now we're going to wipe the entire cab down, and we're going to mask it all off, get it all painted, and then we're going to start on the Dynamat. just unboxed our Dynamat. These are the 9 sheets that it came in. This is a 36 by 18 section. They're not too hard to work with. They seem pretty flimsy, pretty bendable, but to ease our installation, we are going to use a heat gun. We are going to throw them in the oven for just a few minutes each piece, so that way it's going to be super malleable and allow us to press it into all the corners easier. And then on top of that, you are going to want to buy some rollers. So I bought this kit off Amazon. Comes with 3 different heavy-duty rollers. They're all ball-bearing wheels inside here, so that way you can really crease this and get it pushed up into all the corners and grooves. Because you are going to want every single piece of the Dynamat to be stuck to the metal. If it's not stuck to it, it's not going to have a lot of effectiveness to it. And you definitely want to make sure you wear gloves with this stuff because it can be extremely sharp and cut you just like a razor blade. So we're going to throw some gloves on and then let's start applying it. Alright, so we just wrapped up this door. The inside is fully done. The outside is fully done. We made a little relief cut here to allow for these rods for the lock the door opener. We also put a piece of Dynamat on the back side to make sure that that doesn't tear any farther. We did that for here and here, and we had to put a small piece there. But I think it looks really good. It sounds good. Nice and solid everywhere. Also, a small note, make sure you take all your tools and flashlights outside the door before you put everything on. So I gotta pull the speaker back off and fish my flashlight back out. But I just wanted to show you guys a little sound comparison on the transmission tunnel. So definitely a big improvement, I think. So I think we are finally done with the Dynamat. We have all of it pressed in, I think, for the most part. We are putting the door panels back on right now, cutting out all the little squares. It's definitely a little bit tougher now that you have that extra thin little film of material there. The other door panel fit on great. We did have to trim the edges just a little bit so there's none showing, but I think it looks pretty good. Door is complete. The floor is complete, and we have way up, all the way up past here on the back of the firewall. Back of the cab, we did the B pillar. I think we just might do a little square up there still. I think that about wraps it up for the install on the Dynamat. This really wasn't that hard of a modification. It was pretty expensive and very time consuming. I have probably 15 to 20 hours invested and I did have 2 people helping me a lot of the time. This is one of those modifications that you're going to get a better result with the more time and effort you put into it. And if you have the carpet instead of the rubber matting like I do, if you're worried about the thickness, I really wouldn't worry about it at all. It doesn't really add much of a layer to the bottom underneath the carpet. And if you do have any questions regarding Dynamat or the install, please leave them in the comments below. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all the support, all the comments. A big thank you to my boy Scott and my girl Juliet. Hope you guys are having a great day. Stay tuned for the next video, and I'll catch you guys later.